the beats. Oh, this is so sick. It makes me so sad, y'all. This video makes me just absolutely crazy and also, like, sick. Like, actually physically ill. When I heard the noise, y'all are gonna hear the noise. If you're one of those people with a weak stomach, just go ahead and go head out this video. And love you so much. I'll see you soon, because I'm telling you, it's not great. It's not a great sound. That wind is picking up. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Hope you're all doing well. I'm making me an afternoon cup of coffee. Hope y'all doing well, doing well, doing well. We're about to watch this here video with each other for just a minute. We know Civil Rights Lawyer is one of my favorite creators. He's amazing. We pretty much stand him. I'm just getting my coffee ingredients real quick. I hope we're doing so well. Welcome in, welcome in. You know, I'm getting that coffee started. Pardon me, you know, I'm still just a touch sick, just a touch, but we're feeling worlds better. Alright, I'm gonna go ahead and get this started, okay?
This woman's family brought her to the hospital because she was schizophrenic and bipolar and was having complete psychotic breakdown. These police officers offered to help. This is Deputy Murillo with the Broward County Sheriff's Office. He kindly yanked her out of the truck, got her on the ground, and then when he went to handcuff her, instead of bringing her arm this way, palms out, he brought her arm the other way and broke her arm. You can hear it snap. Then he handcuffed her.
Did you guys hear that? It like, he plays it 3 or 4 times in the video, and I swear every time it still makes my skin crawl.
He wrote in his police report, "After a brief struggle, I was able to get control of her left arm and place it behind her back, which allowed me to properly and safely detain her. I heard a popping sound, but was unaware of what it was." Welcome back to the channel. This footage is absolutely brutal. It was submitted by Jennifer Ford, the lawyer from Fort Lauderdale, Florida, who represents this woman. Obviously, I can't show this uncensored, but I
apologize, darling. Usually I have the opposite effect, and people are like, what the hell, I can't hear anything. Let me know if this is better.
will link the raw footage. I'll also link the full police report, as well as the lawsuit that she has filed. This involves Nathalia Granada. She's from Colombia. On October 30th of 2023, she was driven to this hospital by her cousin and her sponsor for immigration purposes, Alex Granada. He was trying to get her...
Although, of course, I see how also that when you come into it and she's, like, screaming, yeah, that could all... Yeah, I'm sorry about that. Probably should have... I don't laugh because it's funny, obviously. I laugh because I'm silly and I should have considered that. My apologies. But welcome, welcome. When it comes to the civil rights lawyer, I don't usually give a whole lot of backstory. That's why I was kind of letting a few minutes go by, let some people get in here, because he does a really great job of filling us in on everything that's happened and everything kind of going on with the situation, past, present, and possibly future. So I really just don't feel the need to yap a lot, except when it comes to my input, right? So I'm going to get back to it here.
Help for her severe mental issues. So around 10 a.m. that morning, October 30th, they arrive at this hospital. Due to her mental state, she thought that she would be harmed if she exited the vehicle. Her cousin Alex walks inside the hospital. He asks the paramedic in triage for help in getting her inside the hospital for treatment. The paramedic declined to help her. Instead, he called 911. The 911 call begins with the paramedic stating, "She's crazy, won't get out of the car." The paramedic told the 911 operator that she was, quote, out of control, but he didn't actually examine her himself. A few minutes later, the first
Don't even get me started on that. That's the craziest shit I've ever heard.
police officer arrives, Deputy Redfeam. Alex asked Deputy Redfeam if he had anyone who speaks Spanish, and he was asking for help.
Hi, how you doing, sir?
Hey, how you doing?
Do you have somebody speak Spanish?
Yeah, I do.
Hey, listen, I'm going through a very tough situation. If you can help me.
Okay, yeah. Is this your wife?
She's my cousin. My blood cousin. She just came from Colombia. From
Okay.
I'm just going so her mom knows.
Amiga.
Please, relax.
Can you get her to come out here for me?
Mami, dice que vengas un momentico aquí. Dice que vengas
Mami, aquí.
Aquí. Que salga un momentico, por favor. Ven.
Deputy Murillo arrived at the scene, and he was aggressive and hostile right from the very beginning. Alex attempted to explain to him that Nathalia was having a breakdown and tried to inform him about her mental illnesses. He didn't want to hear about her mental health, and instead instructed Alex several times to just step away from the vehicle, which he did.
She has a breakdown. She has bipolar.
You back up and let me talk.
Okay, I'm going to talk to her. You got it.
Yep, back up. Please back up. Sir, go that way. See where that visitor sign is? Please go over there. Please stand over there. If you want our help, that's fine. Go over there. It's that simple. I speak Spanish. I don't need you to translate.
Again, she's very obviously in a psychotic state. She's not demonstrating that she's a threat to herself or anyone else. Her lawyer describes her behavior as whimsical and childlike and not the least bit aggressive or threatening.
Mira que están mis piecitos, amor, mira ese dedito.
¿Cuál es su nombre, señora? ¿Cuál es su nombre?
¿Qué hora es?
¿Cuál es su nombre?
Primero me dice la hora.
La hora son las 10 de la mañana. ¿Cuál es su nombre?
Natalia Andrea Granada Mejía. Mire, ya,
¿Pero qué le está pasando hoy?
mire, me tenía que haber hecho las uñas. Y no me las hice, y mire ya la hora que es, y ustedes ya están aquí. Ey,
If you speak English,
vayan, no, eso ya no se hace.
give me something.
The other deputy then went and got more information from her cousin Alex, who told her that she was diagnosed bipolar and schizophrenia, and stated that he had all of her paperwork. Alex pleaded with Deputy Redfeam to help Nathalia without hurting her.
I'm her sponsor.
So what? Okay, talk to me real quick.
Okay.
So what's your name? Who are you?
My name is Alexander Granada.
Okay.
Here's the thing, right? Open your fucking ears and listen. Because he just explained to you who he is and what his name is. But you're too damn busy over here in this fucker's business. I'm sorry, y'all. My blood pressure's just really high watching this one. Excuse my language. I'm really, really upset. Like, I can't tell you how upset I am about this video. My blood pressure was through the roof. The first and the second time I watched it, I was screaming at the phone. Like, it's just brutal. It's really brutal. I know you've had like a little taste, but just wait.
I'm her sponsor and my mother. My mother is her godmother, and
Okay, hang on. Let me get your phone.
she please, if you can help me.
Hey,
please.
we're gonna help you, but
She has. I have all her paperwork.
Okay.
She has bipolar syndrome with
she's diagnosed.
schizophrenia. Yes, she's
Diagnosed.
diagnosed. So she just came into-
Self-diagnosed or?
No. She's been diagnosed for years. You know, she doesn't have her medication for already a few months. She came into the country on March, but she was held in ICE for almost 3 months. So this affected a lot her condition. And then she, came out and she's been good all these 6 months.
And listen. Nobody in my comments better be enough of a bootlicker or enough of a hater of fellow human beings to say anything along the lines of, or you're going to get banned. Immediate ban. I'm not playing on this one. Well, she's illegal, right? Well, kick out all the illegals. Because here's the thing, right? If this is how we treat people, and this is also a special case, this woman is clearly out of her mind, right? As someone who was in the mental health field for a long time, a few credits shy of accreditation as a psychologist, I can tell you there are people who pretend to be more mentally ill than they are, or who malinger and who are not actually mentally ill. This woman is either so good at acting, she deserves a Grammy, or she's actually mentally ill. Right? And if this is how we treat mentally ill people in this country, I frankly don't give a damn if they're legal or not. We should be ashamed of ourselves. Okay, thank you, baby. We should be ashamed of ourselves. I'm not saying she deserves to be or belongs to be here. I do believe if you're going to come, do it the right way, etc. That's a whole nother conversation, however, right? And that's also not what we're dealing with in this particular situation. They're not trying to deport this lady. They show up for a call for a service to help this lady. This man brought this woman to the hospital, her nephew, to the hospital to get treatment. The damn people at the hospital, right, the EMS worker he spoke to, literally says, I'm not dealing with it, and calls the police. First of all, why the fuck would you do that? Why in the world do you think that's going to get you what you want? And get her any kind of help that she needs? Are you crazy? Absolutely not. So then this cop shows up and he says, hey, let me see how much worse I can make it, right? So I really wanted to interject that for just a minute, because I understand please, you can hold two views at the same time. You can say, I don't believe illegal immigrants should be allowed to stay in the United States, yet also believe, I don't think we should break their fucking arms, right? Especially if they're not in their right minds and actually trying to resist you. Those are two beliefs you can simultaneously hold in your mind. I'm just saying. Okay, back to the video.
She's been alright. This is the first time I see her like this.
What's your date of birth?
But please, I know she's like a little bit, distressed, but please, if you can help me without hurting her or anything like that.
All we're doing is just trying to get information so we can...
Oh, this is part of my channel now, apparently. I just can't stop. Every time I see these videos and my blood pressure gets into the triple digits, I just feel the need to share. But I'm happy you're here. You can go right on. You ain't gonna get banned. Not from here, anyway. I just made that comment about, I know somebody's gonna say, oh, well, she shouldn't be here. She's illegal. I hope nobody that follows me would think that way. Hopefully, that's a friend of mine. But, you never know. Maybe I hit the algorithm today. And if that's the case, I just ain't trying to fight with the troll today. That's all.
I've been trying to bring her to the hospital since last night.
You drove her here?
I came over here because my mom...
Did you drive or did she drive?
No. I brought her here, yeah.
And here we go. Did you drive or did she drive? Because if she drove, surely I'm going to have another charge to tack on to her. Fucking ridiculous.
All I know she needs the medication, but I have all her paperwork.
Okay.
She has, bipolar syndrome with schizophrenia, this and that, whatever. And she's been...
Did she take medication?
Deputy Murillo then asked Redfeem if this was going to be a Baker Act, which means an involuntary commitment under Florida law. To which Redfeem responded, yeah, she's schizophrenic bipolar. Murillo then instructed Deputy Redfeem to stay on the driver's side of the vehicle, and he was going...
And they do, Bloodleaf. And they do.
to the passenger side of the vehicle. And Deputy Redfeem attempted to inform Murillo that he had learned about Nathalia's mental health from Alex, stating she's schizophrenic and bipolar and not taking her medications.
She take medication in Colombia regularly.
That's something to fit me to Baker? Yeah, she's schizophrenic bipolar.
Stay here, so I'm on the other side.
Yeah.
But Deputy Murillo again did not want to hear it and instead cut him off, saying, "I don't need her whole life."
She's schizophrenic bipolar. She's not taking her whole life. Yeah.
First of all, fuck you, you stupid prick. I'm getting your name and I'm calling your fucking supervisor tomorrow. If you ain't got enough calls from this big YouTuber, you gonna get some calls from this bitch. Did you see his face? Let's take it back. Let's take it back 10 seconds. Watch this motherfucker's face. Whoo, the blood pressure's rising, y'all. Watch this motherfucker's face when he walks away.
But Deputy Murillo, again, did not want to hear it and instead cut him off, saying, "I don't need her whole life."
She's schizophrenic bipolar. She's not taking her whole life. Yeah.
I hope if you have kids, you wake up every day to a floor full of Legos and you're barefooted. I hope they sneeze and they puke all over the floor beside your bed every day for a century. Period. Okay? I hope every time you cook pancakes you can't get them done right. And I hope and I pray you need Metamucil because you aren't regular and you can't never find it. Okay? That's what I pray for you. I'm just saying. Okay? Praise the Lord.
Deputy Murillo then opened the passenger side door.
Me too, but at least my blood pressure's so high right now.
And Nathalia turned towards him. Murillo stated following in Spanish, "Miss Nathalia, please get out of the car. Are you going to come out willingly or will I have to pull you out with the chain?" he said. And I don't want to do that. Nathalia pleaded with him no, and she refused to exit the truck. According to her lawyer, she didn't do or say anything in Spanish that could be interpreted as a threat to herself or a threat to anyone else. Nevertheless, Deputy Murillo then took hold of Nathalia's right arm and he placed a handcuff on her right wrist, stating,
Alright, this is what I warned y'all about. If you weren't here from the beginning, you're going to hear this woman's arm snap. That's not clickbait. So, trigger warning.
in Spanish, "I'm not going to hurt you. Are you going to refuse to leave?" Nathalia did not pull her right
I'm not going to hurt you. The biggest lie a cop could tell.
arm away, allowed Deputy Murillo to handcuff her, Nathalia extended her left arm out towards the driver's side door, away from Murillo and resting it over the armrest. Deputy Murillo demanded in Spanish, "Give me the other arm." Nathalia pleaded, "Ya, ya, ya," which likely means wait, 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 and she refused to give him her left arm. So only 5 or 6 minutes after he had arrived on scene, and only 1 minute after being informed that Nathalia suffered from a serious mental illness, Deputy Murillo quickly and forcibly yanked her out of the vehicle by the chain as he threatened that he would do. Nathalia, who did not understand that he had planned to do this, pleaded with him. Amor, ya ya, still using terms of endearment when addressing Murillo. She's attempting to de-escalate the situation while Murillo is acting in a hostile and aggressive manner. The other deputy then runs around to the passenger side of the truck where Nathalia was already lying on her back on the concrete, with Deputy Murillo standing over her demanding in Spanish, "Give me your other arm, give me your other arm." Nathalia was scared. She didn't understand what was happening to her. Deputy Murillo managed to turn her over onto her stomach, keeping one knee on her buttocks and lower back. The two deputies then restrained her face down, and a third officer, Deputy Canino, appeared at Nathalia's head. He maneuvered her right handcuffed hand behind her back, with her palm turned out and the back.
I mean, do we just see this? Before even that happened, I'm gonna have to go through and get these cops' names. I'm so fucking mad, y'all. Do we see the way that they're, I mean, I don't really give a damn what the situation is. Do cops just forget? If we ever have a cop in the chat, please feel free. Hey, Lurking. This is a lady who got her arm snapped. A mentally ill lady who has schizophrenia, who she's got into the country, and her nephew brought her to the hospital to get help because she was having a psychotic break, and the EMS worker that he encountered said, "I'm not dealing with her," and called the police because, you know what they say, there's no situation a cop cannot make worse. So, that's what we're watching right now. And my blood pressure's high, if you're wondering. So fucking mad. I don't really care what the situation is, especially when it comes to people that are mentally ill, which is a lot of the people that cops deal with, especially on a regular basis, is drug addicts and mentally ill people, period. I mean, that's just, statistics prove that, right? And this is how you treat them? Like, if you are so jaded as a cop, or if you are so cruel of a person, you cannot treat another human being with the dignity and respect that they deserve, and I don't give a damn what the situation really is, period, then you don't need to be a cop, because in case you forgot, you're here to protect and serve the public, right? Not protect and serve your own ego and self-interest. And I think a lot of them forget that.
Her hand resting against her lower back. Then brutally, Deputy Murillo then forced Nathalia's left arm down backwards, snapping her left humerus bone. You can actually hear the bone breaking. It's quite loud, and it's acknowledged by the deputies on the body cam.
Okay, she's gonna be yelling, but I'm gonna turn this up just to make sure that you can hear it. It's gonna be loud for a second. Feel free to turn your own volume down, and then I'm gonna turn my volume back down after this part. Just, I want to make sure that you hear the horrible thing that's about to happen. Every fucking time it gives me chills. Every time it gives me chills. Ben, I cannot with you. Welcome in, dear. Welcome. I have seen this video. He shows it a total of 5 or 6 times in the video, and I've watched the video probably 3 or 4 times, and I tell you, I still, like, eek, shiver, you know, cringe every single time I hear it. Like, that's not a pop of, like, maybe a tendon got disjointed, maybe something's out of place. That is clearly, you broke this woman's fucking arm. And no wonder when you bend it around, literally, 200 and something degrees the opposite direction. No, I've never heard a song called Fuck the Fire Department either. And you know, I see why. They actually show up trying to save people, rescue kittens from trees and some more shit, right? Ridiculous. Listen to the way they react, though. This is crazy.
Deputy Canino then held Nathalia's broken left arm down backwards at a visibly unnatural angle, while Deputy Murillo placed the handcuff on her broken left arm.
Mami, vuelva, aquí estoy, mami. Ya estoy aquí, yo no lo vuelvo a hacer, mi amor. Ya paré.
Hey, it's okay.
Murillo then pulled on Nathalia's broken left arm to turn her over and sat her upright. Nathalia continued speaking nonsensically to Deputy Murillo, stating, "You told me it was only 9:05 in the morning here, my love. I was going to wait for you."
Hágase al lado. All over, amiga. Ahora súbase para arriba.
Me dijiste que aquí solamente eran las 9:05 de la mañana. Mi amor, ya yo te iba a esperar.
¿Qué drogas? ¿Qué ha hecho drogas?
Estás oyendo.
Despite being confused, in a psychotic state, and in excruciating physical pain, Nathalia still spoke with kindness towards Deputy Murillo, this man who had just yanked her out by the chain of her own vehicle and broke her arm by forcing it down backwards behind her back.
Mira ese dedito. Mira ese dedito. Mami, yo no tengo. Ya volví.
Hey, Canino, grab a wheelchair.
Mire la hora.
She just needs some medication. Yeah, I have all the paperwork.
Mira el celular. Mira, ya está el cargador.
And this prick, meanwhile, I mean, can I zoom in? Oh, it's not going to let me on this video because I'm screen sharing. Can we just look for a second at his face? He has not a care in the world. And I reiterate, I hope you step on a sea of fucking Legos, barefooted every day, for the rest of your life. That's what I hope for you.
That's where the body cam ends. Her lawyer told me that after this, she was immediately wheeled into the hospital. She was indeed Baker acted, so she was committed and then placed in a sort of a lockdown psychiatric facility. undergo surgery. An orthopedic surgeon had to essentially pin her arm back together, and it never completely healed. She still is left with.
Wonderful. Once again, we have another cop who has permanently damaged and disfigured another human being on our streets. Wonderful. Absolutely wonderful. And let me see, he's usually got lots of good info here. Oh wait, he only has the whatchamacallit. Usually he has info about the video. Maybe he has it in the pinned comment. Let's see here. Okay, here we go. The woman's family brought her to the hospital in Broward County. It would be Florida. I didn't even catch that part. Yeah, the mental breakdown. She was afraid. She said she would be hurt. Imagine that. Why would she feel that way? Ugh. It makes me feel physically ill, right? Because it's like, it's easy. It's like the whole concept we talked about the other day. Back the blue until it happens to you, right? And it's really easy to watch videos like this and think like, well, thank God that isn't me. Or even more egotistically think, well, that would never happen to me, right? But how could it not happen to anybody if this lady showed up at a hospital, right? Literally, a place they're supposed to lay healing hands on you for help when she needed it the most, and EMS didn't want to help her. I have serious questions for why the hell EMS couldn't handle this as well. I know sometimes you have to use force, but there is usually on mental wards of a hospital, there are usually security teams specifically for the mental ward of a hospital that are specifically trained to deal with and not harm mental health patients, that will usually get compliance by things like tranquilizers and not by, a broken fucking arm. So, I don't know if he said which hospital it was. I'm going to rewatch the video one more time. But I think that there's definitely some questions about why the hell whatever EMS worker dealt with her did not just go into the hospital, call up to the psych ward and say, hey, there's a psych patient down here who's schizophrenic, in the middle of a mental health crisis, combative, and I need some help. Why would your first phone call be to the police? What the hell do you think they're going to do to help you? Like, somebody who works in the medical field should know a whole lot better. So I'll be looking up those numbers. I'm so good luck, America. That's just how, at this point, this is kind of how I'm feeling. Like, I'm so, what a failure by the medical professionals and the police. As a paramedic, I'll say the paramedic who refused to help is a coward. Amen. Like, I don't know what else to call it at that point. Oh, Lord. I'm really surprised. I ain't doing it. I haven't even touched it. I'm sorry to hear it, though, Bloodleaf. I'm free speech 100% over here. If YouTube don't get you, as far as I'm concerned, you can say whatever you want. You'll never see me censor people. I'm trying to get that motherfucker's name right there. I know it's Murillo, but I didn't know the spelling. Murillo. Okay. I'm telling you. I know. Man, I'm telling you, YouTube be like that more and more lately. It's getting really... It's like that, too. I feel like normally, if you're modded up, if you're in the blue crew, it's a little easier on you. Like, it'll let you say more. My friend's buddy. It'll let you say a little bit more, but lately, it don't even matter if that. I feel like if there's even more censorship lately. But then again, maybe I just feel that way as a content creator now, as opposed to before when I was purely a consumer. Like, maybe I just see it more. I also am a whole lot more involved in communities than I was before. So, I don't know, maybe I just see the evidence of it, but I feel like it's happening more. I don't know, I could be crazy. But anyway, I'm having to track this here weather and make sure, no naders are going to come for us and all that. I just wanted to make this short video to share this with you guys. I'm probably going to be doing a lot of this content because I feel like this is the kind of stuff that needs to get attention, not good attention, but just eyes on it. It's things like this. Of course, I only have so many eyes I can put to it, but it's one of my big goals here on my channel to just kind of share truth, call out bullshit, anywhere it is. And I'd also love to commend great police officers. You can always send me videos if you'd like. You got any recommendations? If you're in the Discord, drop them in the Discord. My email is also on my landing page of YouTube. Okay, baby. Okay, baby. Thank you. Oh, no, you're all right. You can drop it in my email. Some of you have my number. Drop it to my number. Ooh, can I do that?
Mommy, I've been puking.
You have?
Yeah.
When did you puke?
I puked in there.
I don't think you did. Was that a dream, maybe, that you had when you napped?
Let me have it.
You'll be alright, baby. My kids are crazy.
My temperature is way so hot.
I don't think your temperature is way so hot, baby, but we'll get you the fan, okay?
Okay.
Uh-oh, my kid's convinced she's sick. I can't even really doubt her because we've all been sick. No, you're not taking that whole damn bottle of water. I know you think you're crazy for that one. But yeah, send me stuff like this. Send me good cops. I'd love to send some attention, some commendations. I don't just Karen over negative situations. I've called corporate. I've called police stations to commend good police officers or commend good workers, places I've gone. Like, I'm all about accountability, good or bad. So, let's get her done as far as I'm concerned. I'm going to have to look into my chat restrictions because I ain't trying to restrict nobody's free speech. Just don't get my channel in trouble. If it's something I think is going to get me yanked, I might just go right ahead and, not ban you, but delete that comment. Otherwise, say what you want. Sneaky. You can tell me on Discord, too. Oh, yeah, but I promoted you, Joshua from the Goods Pottery. He was doing a live yesterday. That's what I meant. And then the other day, my friend Zachary Kowalt, he was live and looking for some background music with Simply Groot, one of his friends, and YouTubers on here, and they were looking for like a little background music, so I promoted you then. It's exactly what it is. If it's anti-cop, they don't want to show it. Fuckers. And that's another thing that really annoys me too, is you might think, seeing the content that I do, that I'm anti-cop, but I'm not one of those ACAB assholes. That's what I call them, ACAB assholes. I'm really not. I don't believe all cops are bad. As a matter of fact, I know a couple of good ones here in my own home state, but there's not a whole lot. And I feel like we've had this conversation before. I don't feel like the world and the U.S. is just full of bad cops. I feel like there's bad cops. Oh, yep, see? Yep, exactly. I'll double check my restrictions next time before I go live. I know I can do it in YouTube Studio too. I'll take a look at that. I'm sorry, Bloodleaf. We hate for it to censor people. I'm not about that life. Hey, we're not gonna be whining. Hey, if y'all can't decide and get along, stop whining. Give me the remote. Give me the remote real quick. Listen, if we can get along, Mommy's going to pick something neither of you picked. Okay? But anyway, what I was going to say is, listen, both of you... No one ever said I was putting on Rescue Squad. Basically, what I'm saying is this. Hush! I'm saying this. There's some bad cops, but it's mainly the culture that surrounds it, that thin blue line that they have, that they're saying... we must defend each other. We must have each other's back. Until it happens to you. That's what I was saying. Heck yeah. Back to blue until it happens to you. That's exactly what I said earlier. Yep. Exactly that. You're good, man. You are A-okay. Okay, you know what? Go on, and I'll get you the daggum thing. And guess what? Tomorrow, no TV. If this is how you want to act, and you won't even leave me be for 5 minutes, then that's fine, and you can have it right now to satisfy what I'm doing, but you better watch whatever you're watching in the next 10 minutes, because I'm taking the daggum thing from you, to be clear. Sorry, these kids are acting crazy. I knew putting a TV in their room was a good idea. They've never had a TV in their room their whole little lives, and my mom and papa wanted to put it in there as a type of reward for them, and their birthdays are coming up, and also to kind of help me when I need to get stuff done, because I always prioritize them. So if I need to, like, say, do the dishes, but also they want my attention, they're getting my attention. That's just, you know, I might do a few dishes as I can. And it's a problem. So they're like, yeah, the TV, it'll help you so much. And I'm like, yeah, 50% of the time, maybe. It's blocking until. That's crazy. Yeah, exactly. No matter who, that's exactly right. That's exactly right. It's the whole, and that's the thing that it is with cops. I think it's a double side with their whole back to blue, thin blue line mentality. Half of it is you see these whistleblower cops that come out and you see what happens to them. These other cops, like, ruin their entire lives, you know? Like, they end up following them around, harassing them, trumping up charges on them, you know, doxing their family, causing a divorce because it becomes so stressful to be so close to someone who is the target of this police harassment. I mean, I know 2 or 3 cop whistleblower types that came out against their department, and it never really goes well. It never just happens and then the, you know, department is held accountable and the person is fine. That's never the way that it goes. So it's like no good deed goes unpunished. People have learned over time, like, I think that's also why police departments have a high turnover rate. I think the ones that are good and not jaded and not bad say, well, I can't deal with this corruption, but I know I'm going to get nowhere if I fight it from the inside, so I'm just going to move my ass on somewhere else. Yeah. Well, I'm glad, Ben. Really, this is, with the TV in their room, they have a lot more screen time than before. They wouldn't even get screens except for the TV they had to share in the living room throughout the day, pretty much ever, until they got tablets. And even then, they may have their tablets 2 or 3 times for an hour or 2 a day throughout the week. Their screen time is very, very limited. I'm not letting the tablets raise them. However, because they know the TV's in there, now they no longer try and get along and pick something on the living room TV like they would before, because they knew that was the only thing they could watch. Whichever of them doesn't want to watch something in here will be like, well, I just want to go to my room and watch TV. Which I know you're like, well, okay, so just let them do it. But, like, I want to encourage them to not argue and fight and demand their own way. Because it's kind of bratty, and I'm not raising brats. You know what I mean? Oh, I know who Matt is. I haven't heard of Matt, actually. I'll have to pick up on that. Dumb slugging agreed. Oh, pardon me. A whistleblower, and he blows the whistle on departments nationwide. Wait, is he the guy that was a K-9 officer and member of SWAT? He was just on that one podcast. Oh, heck no, they're not. We eat dinner together, by God. Is that who it is, though? He was just on the podcast with the guy, J.D. DeLay's friend. God, I can't remember his name. But it's J.D. DeLay's friend. He just interviewed him. Is that the same guy? I'm so horrible about remembering things. I'm like, you know, the guy with the face. Oh, okay, no. I think I know who you're talking about. I think he's come up in my shorts, but I'm thinking of a very white guy. He's very white. White like mayonnaise. No, I'm gonna have to look him up just to double check. I think he has come up once or twice in my shorts. Sorry, I had to take some Tylenol. Oh, that's awesome. That's great. Yeah, I'm going to check him out. Thank you, Ben. I'm going to write it down just so I don't forget, because you know me and my forgetful ass. I'm making a whole presentation on Matt Horton. I'm making a whole presentation on Michelle Anders and Lisa Edwards. If you haven't been around while I've talked about them, these are two people that were murdered by the police. I mean, straight up. One was right here in Knoxville, Tennessee, near me, about 20 minutes away. Lisa Edwards, who showed up at the hospital because she felt like she was dying. Spoiler alert, she was. The hospital, for some reason, decided that she was in fact not sick, so she needed to leave. And she was saying, hey, I'm gonna fucking die if I leave, so I'm not gonna leave. And so then they called the cops, and the cops were like, obviously you're not sick. By the way, they never even took her blood pressure, just to let you know. She didn't even make it through the intake process, just saying. So then the cops show up 8 deep, because they can never just come 1 or 2 deep, because why would they do that? Treat her horribly, insult her, fucking throw her around, try to get her up in the paddy wagon. She's such dead weight that 2 or 3, 4 of them together could not even do that. So eventually they drag her into the back of one of the cruisers. This motherfucker transporting her, heartless, decides he's going to stop and make a fucking traffic stop on the way to take her to jail. Riddle me that. But regardless, makes this traffic stop to get out of his car. The whole time, mind you, she's wheezing in the back of the car. I mean, just begging him for help, crying. It's horrible. The footage is terrible. And he gets out to make his traffic stop. By the time he comes back into the car, it was only a few minutes. She had done death rattled and she was gone. Even the news is trying to cover it up, saying she got taken to the hospital. She was in the ICU for 4 days. She wasn't. I've spoken to her family. Absolutely not. She died in that fucking police car. And one of the cops that was there got a promotion. There was never any type of corrective action. Absolutely nothing. Okay, alright, I'm down for that, Ben. Thank you. A good cop, if you will. There's not many of them, huh? That was Lisa Edwards. And then Michelle Anders is the lady up in Missouri, Dunklin County, Missouri, who was fleeing from a domestic violence situation and walked hours and hours to get away. She had a couple of bags. That's all she had. She'd been drinking. The cops stopped her at like 11 p.m. Alcohol on her breath. She's slurring her speech. She was drunk, period. On the side of a major highway at night. No flashlight, no phone, nothing, because she took her stuff and left in the middle of the night. The cops saw a bottle on her, like a liquor bottle, a little travel bottle, in her bag, called her out on it. She swore she hadn't been drinking. They decided, of course, they were going to ID her, because, IDs are like crack to police officers, right? But then that was it. She literally begged them for help. Like, could you please just take me up to the next gas station? Oh, no, there's not room for your stuff. Oh, we're not supposed to. It's against company policy. Last thing one of the cops says to her is, all I can say is keep walking this way for 1.5 miles, but stay off the white line, because if you cross it again on this highway, you're probably going to get hit. And I'll be damned if they didn't get a call 16 minutes later to dispatch, because the semi-truck could run her over. What's up? Somebody gotta say this shit. Hello, welcome in. Yeah, exactly. Because when they get sued, who pays it? Not them. No. I'm sorry, Bloodleaf. I will double check that before I have another cop accountability video. I promise. If you come back, I'll do whatever I can to make sure you are not censored. Yeah, just make less mistakes, please. Once, like I said, I do believe there's a such thing. I mean, maybe I need to see this movie and I'm missing context. I do believe there's good cops. At least I believe there's some people who try to be good cops, right? I do believe to an extent it's like one of those things they teach you to extort people, to steal their vehicles, to steal their money with petty traffic tickets. So, like, quote-unquote good cops, I feel like even the best of cops are still filling quotas and, like, unnecessarily, citing or arresting people just to meet stupid numbers games. So, I get what you mean about that. Like, in that way, there's no good cops. I don't believe every single one of them is just deadly corrupt. But I do believe everything from the training breeds non-accountability, corruption, thievery. I mean, it's really just, it's all bad news bears. I do agree with that. Yes, it's exactly that. And it's like, I've talked about before how me and my dad have a disagreement anytime we talk about the way I was treated in the Blount County Jail down here in my little neck of the woods. Because he said, well, you did the crime, you got to do the time. It's not supposed to be a 5-star hotel. Well, I don't disagree with you. However, it's like lower than you would treat your animal. And I don't think that's acceptable either. And like, we're not just talking about, you know, things they take away like privileges or dumb shit like that, visits. I mean like basic human hygiene. The fact that I was in intake for 5 days, refused a shower, and every cop that I asked would make some snide fucking joke and laugh about it until I absolutely lost my mind. And I said, I know for a fact in your inmate handbook it says I need to get one no less than every 3 days, and I'm about to sue this whole motherfucking place. And I was donkey kicking the door and showing my whole ass. And it was ridiculous. And we finally got a shower. So, but I'm telling you, it's shit like that. It's the fact that girls get 2 to 3 pads a week for their menstrual cycle, right? It's just the absolute craziness of it all. So, I think Daddy Bear is home. But that's exactly it. But, like I said, I was just kind of trying to keep this one a little short and a little sweet. I'm going to go ahead and get out of here. But I might be back here in a little bit. I so appreciate everybody that joined in today. And I hope to see you guys again soon. Tell me in the Discord. I'll read it on the next live. I don't care. It is Papa Bear. I hear a Papa Bear. We'll see you soon, Bloodly. Thank you for coming in and contributing to the conversation. Thank you as well. Somebody gotta say this shit. Bullseye Ben. Shout out, shout out, shout out, shout out. And Lurking was here. Dr. Daddy was here. Rock was here. To whoever might be watching the replay, love you too. We'll see you again soon. Until then, remember, take care of